God, we come to you today with a prayer from, oh, you thought you were grown? Please continue to watch over us and our families and our viewers. Please help us project, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen and amen.
Amen. Amen. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Oh, You Thought You Were Wrong. I am Prissy Chryssie, and this is
Debbycakez.
all right. And if you are new here, please go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. Um, we are a community of women, Debbie Cakes and I, mothers, and we're trying to build our community. Thank you guys for joining.
So today we are going to talk about Father's Day, and we have, of course, a hot topic for you guys, and to celebrate a little bit about Juneteenth. So,
Yes. So it's a lot of celebration going on. It's a busy weekend of celebrating Juneteenth and Father's Day. Have you got any plans for Father's Day?
I got my dad a gift, my stepfather,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like I'm celebrating myself also. You know how I feel about Father's Day.
These women trying to celebrate Father's Day. Father's Day is for fathers. You get Mother's Day. Maybe it's for you, your birthday and Mother's Day. You got that.
Father's Day, I feel like it belongs to me also. How can I get it all? I want it all. But you know what? There is the good fathers out there that do need to be, celebrated. And I celebrate them. My hats go out to them too. But
Ain't no but.
I'm wearing both hats. I need to celebrate both events or both,
You are not wearing both hats. You can only wear a mother's hat. You are only a woman. You could not possibly be a mother and a father. That's just not possible.
It is. It is. I'm shaking my head, y'all. For people that can't see me, I'm shaking my mother head. I can and I am. And I do a damn well good job at it. I could be nice and mother nurturing, and I could be rough as hell. Hey, get your ass over here.
That's part of being a mama. That's still being
I
a
just feel like I'm being rough. I gotta teach him how to be a boy, how to be a man.
Oh, you can't teach
So,
them.
well, listen. Anyways, what
You
is your
mothers out there who want to celebrate Father's Day because you think you're a mama and you're a father. You are not. You are only a mother. This is why our generation is so confused as it is. You are only a mother. And when I was a child, I used to think like that too. I used to be like, oh, I'm celebrating my mama on Father's Day because she's my mama and my father. Wrong. Fathers have a role and fathers are important. And no matter how much you're doing on your own, and you are still only the mama. And you are enough just being a mama. You got more enough love to give him being mama.
I do.
You got enough toughness in you being mama. That's a part of being a woman. Celebrate, like, that's part of being a woman. That's what you're doing to him. That's what you're doing. That's your role. But I am, for Father's Day, I'm not buying no Father's note. Well, I bought the kids' dad a gift. I got him something that he would like. From small, and but the kids are making the granddads a handmade gift, so
I'm
gonna work on that, and then we gotta send it out. I'm always good at last minute, like
wait last minute. But you know what? I should do something for Noah's grandfather, my real father that's in DC, to hang up in his room. I didn't think about that. Like, he has pictures of us in there, but I didn't think about sending him a Father's Day gift. I'm trying to come up there soon to see him, but I should send it to my aunt to send over to. That's a great idea, Chrys. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, because I did something for Mother's Day for all the grandmothers, and it's way too many of them. It's too many of them. But for Father's Day, I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get some pictures together and make a little. I'm gonna do a little booklet thing. I might actually video it.
My gift today, but
you picked up Jimmy's gift.
Yeah, I did. I did. Before all the crazy festivities, I didn't want to forget. And I wanted to not wait last minute and get something that, thoughtful that I know that he'll use. Cause I feel like growing up, we used to get like crappy gifts that he
But
would never,
that,
yeah,
I
like
think I
nail
remember
clipping
that.
stuff and ties he don't even use, cologne he don't even wear. So I feel like when I get him a gift now, I make sure it's very meaningful. That's something he's going to actually use.
That's good.
But tell me
I
about you and
never
your
got a gift. I
relationship.
never did. Actually, I think this is gonna be my first like Father's Day doing something for us. So
For
I can't remember what I did for the last couple of years.
Chris or for your dad?
I mean, my dad, I know I ain't did nothing. Like his birthday was in June. I felt bad. I was like, I didn't even get you nothing for your birthday. Like I, I didn't do anything, but I'm gonna make him something. I don't even remember what I did. I'm not really good with gifts and things like that. But I'm gonna try. I'm trying to. I have this one cousin who's like very thoughtful, and she sends out birthday cards and all this. And I want to be more like her and
Mhm.
think about people in advance. And I feel good when she thinks about me and sends me things. So I'm like, I want to do that for other people. So I want to do that for the dads and the grandparents. So this will be the first time I actually remember. I might have done it before, but I just don't remember. So
Again,
Debbie,
my unanswered question.
huh?
I said again to my unanswered question. You keep talking about these gifts, but what is your relationship with your father? Like, how was your relationship growing
Oh,
up? I know we talked about it a little bit on our mental health cast, but
oh,
how was
I
life
missed
with
that. I
your
didn't
dad?
even hear that.
I know you just kept talking over me. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Man,
It's
I didn't
okay.
hear that. Okay, so my relationship with my daddy is oh, also I took us something to drink too, so it's
She
like
feeling loosey goosey.
I don't drink, but today was very stressful. I'm a pump and dump. So I feel like I just got hot. So, I'm
Don't
sorry.
mind her, y'all. This
Oh
old
my god, I just got hot and everything. So yes, my relationship with my dad. So growing up, the relationship was like we talked in the mental health. It was we didn't talk because of things in the past, and then 15 we had a conversation, and I forgave him, and then ever since then he's been like my go-to parent with
Mhm.
things. Like I talk to him about a lot of things, and I get good advice and insight, especially when it comes to like men things, like relationship.
Uh-huh.
I can't really talk to my mama because she's so emotional, and I'm her baby girl, and she got, she'll gaslight me to think that
Something is
um,
wrong, but something right is, wrong is right.
exactly. So he keeps me level
Shut up,
headed.
Miss Lewis. You right now.
I'm like, what are you talking about? That don't even make sense. I know that don't make sense. I know I'm tripping. You just co-sign with me, whatever you want, baby. So he keeps me level headed. Anytime I have like financial situations where I'm confused or I don't know what to do, I talk to my daddy. And which is like a whole like 180 from our relationship growing up to now as an adult. Um, I love that man. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like our relationship, I needed that relationship with my dad. That's why I would say like I used to be that person who's like, I'm gonna celebrate my mama on Mama Father's Day. But not as an adult, I realized how important his role is as a father, and I appreciate it that I can have that with him. Like while he's up here now, I'm trying to get my brothers and him to get together so they can kind of mend their relationship as well, because it's important. We all need our mommies and we all need our daddies. And so our relationship is good. What about
I'm trying not to cry. I'm so
don't
sorry.
cry?
I'm
You
so
know, this
sorry.
is daddy's girl right here, Debbie.
I
She
am definitely a daddy's girl. Both of my father and stepfather are like my hearts, my everything, but I'm about to cry because my dad is not doing as well right now. And I miss that. Like that relationship y'all have. I had that with my father before
Mhm.
getting sick. Like, oh,
Yeah, girl, you might make me cry. Shit. Ugh.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
But I had that with my dad. Like, um, as a teen or growing up, we was very bumpy relationship, but then I grew up and he became like my best friend. I would call him for advice and like anything. Like I can just call him and speak to him about whatever is going on. Like, how you embarrassed tell your parents something.
Mhm.
I was never embarrassed to tell him because I felt like he knew all my shames, he knew all my craziness, and he knew me. I feel like I'm him in a way.
Mhm.
So he just knew what to say at the right time, and I miss him. Like he's suffering from um, Alzheimer's, and so he's just not himself anymore, and he's kind of disintegrating. So it's gonna be a tough Father's Day for me. But my stepfather, on the other hand, this man, listen, every he's been my stepfather since I was 5.
Mhm.
Every talent show, step show, music I did, anything acting or plays, whatever I did growing up, he was always there. He would never miss anything. My mother, she was always working, but my stepfather, he made sure he was a presence in my life at all times. And he's an amazing grandfather. So I just can't even imagine. So I'm excited for Father's Day for those two.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
baby daddy, child, that's a whole
Yeah, I
nother.
remember she called the man a sperm donor in the other episode. So
That's
you
just what
are,
he is. You got to call them what they are.
yeah, got some good sperm though, because you got a beautiful baby.
Oh, I do. I do.
I don't know if that sounded wrong. Wait.
No, it's okay. I say I thank him all the time for giving me that good sperm. Cause look at my child. Crazy. He looks like me.
Oh,
But anyway, I
yeah.
guess.
So what's a good a word of advice that your daddy gave you? Like either one of them. Like what's something that you carry with you, like or live by that.
My last good advice from my stepfather. No, I'm sorry. What my father was. When I was in transition to working things out with my husband or maybe that step to leave. Like
Mhm.
I was fighting myself for like, do I leave or not leave? And he was like, know your worth. I was like, that's my husband. He said, I understand that was your husband, but know your worth. Know that nobody should be able to come and disrespect you in any kind of way. You get your ass off that couch and you go back. You go back to your mother's house and figure things out there. You'll need that. You do not.
Okay, Teddy. Okay, I like that.
Okay.
And some people need to hear that right now.
I
Like,
had to hear it. And that same day I packed my stuff. I was crying. My mother-in-law, my in-law, my mother, yeah, mother-in-law.
yeah, your mother-in-law, his mama.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was like driving me crazy and I didn't know what to do. And I didn't want to. I grew up respecting my elders, so I never disrespected her. So I called my dad for advice and he's like, what are you doing? Like, respect yourself. And that just stuck with me. So every time somebody wants to do something crazy, I always think of him telling me that. And sometimes I want to turn to him like now, my adult, like right now, and
Hmm.
things I'm going through and just want to hear, what would you say to me? And every time
Right.
I talk to him, even though he can't talk back to me, I'm like, I need you. I need you to tell me what am I doing or what I need to do or what am I doing wrong.
Well,
And
he wants to see the best version of you. Like
yeah,
in the decisions you make, he wants to see you happy. So leave with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, the best advice Jimmy gave me, I think I was a little kid.
Okay.
Okay.
Jimmy's so laid back, y'all.
Listen,
Daddy Jimmy is
he's
so laid back, so like
so chill,
don't nothing bother him. Just
just so nonchalant. And it's just like, I think he told me, I think somebody had gotten in trouble for stealing. And he told me, listen, if you can't steal something that you think you can get away with and it's worth $1 million, if it's not worth $1 million, it's not worth stealing. Do not put yourself in any kind of situation. And I'm like, huh? But it took me to like Listen, I won't even steal batteries, y'all. I won't. I mean, you know how you put something in your car and you put something on top of it, and I didn't pay for it. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go back and pay for it.
Right.
You know. And so I just like, I don't know why that was the best thing, or something that just stuck with me. I won't say that's the best advice because he gave me a lot
This
of
stuff is just stuff with
advice.
you.
It just stuck with
If
me.
it ain't worth stealing, if it's not $1 million, it's not
Still,
worth stealing.
it's not worth going to jail for.
No, not at all.
And that just stuck with me. Don't ask me why, but that's what stuck with me. But yes, girl.
So I think my well, recently when I had kids, the best advice my dad gave me is like we were getting into it. He was playing the game and all that kind of stuff, and I would call my dad, and he was like, "The way you make a relationship work is you have to find happiness within yourself. Don't look for him to fulfill your happiness." And I was like, "Oh, damn, that again, did you?" And he was like, if it's reading a book, if it's walking to the park, if it's, going to the mall, getting your hair done, whatever it is, you need to find what makes you happy and let that man have his happiness where he finds it at. And when y'all come together, y'all can be happy because you're independently happy, not, depending on that person to make you happy. I think I had got bored with being just mom and working, that kind of thing. So I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I need to go places. I need to do things. I feel like I'm trapped. But he's like, you don't need to wait on him. Do it. If you want to go somewhere, go. He'll catch up. So that was the best advice in a relationship. And I think when I was in high school, this is other advice that he gave me. I used to be like slapboxing the girls. I don't know, just
So what?
slapboxing
That was
in Wellington, like.
y'all. I'm putting that out there. I was not slapboxing
It
anybody.
was just, people would like to try me, especially when I went to Wellington. It was like Wellington is like this uppity area where all the black people wanted to prove that like the black kids wanted to prove that they were like ghetto kind of. But it's like y'all
Okay.
live in Wellington, y'all from Wellington, y'all lived your whole life in Wellington. You're not ghetto, get over it. And they would slapbox. And my daddy saw me out there. Imagine we weren't talking at this time. He saw me out there with the girl slapbox. And he was like, don't do that. Don't you tongue wrestle with people. Don't play fight with people because people are testing your strength. They're testing you. So they'll feel comfortable enough to try you because they've already practiced fighting with you. They always practiced arguing with you. So don't tongue wrestle. Don't play fight. Don't do none of that for fun. So now I don't argue with girls. I don't, I stopped like immediately. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And that girl really wasn't my friend who would do that. She was really like trying to see if she could fight
Try
me.
you.
Yeah, she was trying to try me low.
I have never experienced that. Or if I'm fighting you, I'm fighting you for real. And I used to fight. So what was it called? Slack boxing?
Slap, like slapping.
Oh, slap boxing. Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that with me, cause bitch, we fighting.
Yeah. So she would do it, but I would be like, okay, I have brothers, so I know how to fight because I have to fight my brothers. Like, okay, we can run it. Let's go. You want to slap box? Okay.
Oh wow.
And then, but he saw that he was like, mind you, he was not talking. He was so mad. He was like, "Hey, don't be doing that." He even tell my sons that when they play fight, they he'd be like, "Don't wrestle with people. Don't do that. They
That people
testing."
find out your strengths, and
Mhm.
that's a good one.
Mhm.
Listen, these fathers are so wise.
Yeah, they are. They know things that you can't see especially like being girls.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it is. It's a special relationship between daughters and their fathers. So I appreciate my daddy, even though I was so mean to him, not um, giving up. And when I call, answering the phone, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's because I was mean, a mean little evil child. So I really appreciate that and him work and cement this relationship with me. When I went to Florida, I stayed with him. And even this week, when I went down there and I stayed these 2 weeks with him, like it kind of reminded me like maybe my relationship is slipping because how I felt so safe with my daddy and he was looking out for me, like, that kind of thing. Like the father daughter he just, you know, the little things like, oh, help you with the door, that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm missing this. I need to stay with my daddy because I feel like a princess here instead of a worker. So I just love my daddy.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
So our next topic is today, June 17. Sorry, I'm having a moment. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting it together. I'm still emotional about the Father's Day thing.
Oh.
But June 17, they nationalize Juneteenth Day. Sorry, I'm having a moment, y'all. I want to call it Jubilee, which was the original name until they made it Juneteenth because it was June 19th. They squeezed the th out and made it Juneteenth. So today is it's now a national holiday from our President Biden. Good job. Good job. And so I was doing a little research. I feel like I didn't learn too much about it in school. Like I remember Jubilee, but I remember it was like a brief up talking about it. What about you, Chrys?
Yeah, only time I heard of Jubilee was like in church. I never heard of Jubilee. I went through high school. I didn't learn about any really Black history, like going to school in Florida. I didn't learn anything outside of Martin Luther King, the civil rights and slavery. That's the only thing I really learned about. I learned about Juneteenth in my adulthood. I remember the Bloody Sunday. When I started learning about the Bloody Sunday, and I went to Alabama, took a trip to visit the bridge. And that's when when I started digging, and that's when I heard about Juneteenth and and its importance in American history. So for everybody, just so you know what Juneteenth is. So January 31st, 1865 is when the slaves, African Americans, don't call them slaves, Black people were freed from the 13th Amendment. We should have no longer 1865.
Okay. When I was researching, it said 1863 because 1866 is when they finally came down there to Texas to let everybody know that they're free.
They had 1865. We was all in 1865. Hold on. Wait, let me double check. Because there's nothing wrong with double check. I got the dates. January 31st, 1865 is when the 13th Amendment was passed, which freed the slaves. Okay. And June 19, 1865 is when General Gordon went to Texas to let the Texans know that we were free. But we can double check Juneteenth.
But I was saying, next year, well, fun facts about Juneteenth. I never understood the drinking the Kool-Aid and the red drinks and the watermelon sodas and the strawberry drinks. So the reason behind the red drinks is to how you say that word? To accommodate, how you say that word?
Commemorate, I think it's how you say it.
Commemorate bloody, like that bloody people that lost their lives, during slavery and fighting the war. So that's why they drink the red Kool-Aid. I was like, I never heard that before, but that was a fun fact that I learned today as I was looking it up for the podcast today.
Oh, really? What's the watermelon for?
No, the red drinks.
Oh,
It's
okay.
different flavors, all the red drinks.
Oh, okay. I never heard that before. Okay, so I see what you about the dates.
Mhm.
So 1866 is when they first celebrated it. It happened the year before. You see what I'm saying? So it says originally celebrated in Texas in June 19, 1866, marked the first anniversary. So it was celebrated the year
So
after, but
when did they become free?
they General Gordon, I think his last name was
He went
Gang.
down there. I think
He
he went
went down there in June 19, 1865. And then the following year is when Juneteenth became a thing.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Emancipation Proclamation. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. The original date they were slaves. The slaves were freed in the South in 1863. In many places until after the Civil War ended in 1865. Okay, so they started, oh, okay, I remember this. So this is what happened. I learned this in college. I learned all my Black history as an adult in college. So when the North came down, the Union came down and they fought the people in the South, those states that rebelled against the Union, they freed those slaves so that they could join the Union and fight. So that's why in 1863, some of the slaves became free. But other states who were still fighting still had slaves.
Yep, and a lot of people from the northern moved down south to try to keep their slaves, thinking they're going to win the war, and they would just come back to upstate to claim their properties.
Hmm. That's so crazy.
It is crazy.
It's so crazy that people thought that we were property. I just mind blowing. Psychotic.
It really is.
It's psychotic. So, are you doing anything to celebrate Juneteenth?
This year we're gonna just drink red Kool-Aid and barbecue in the backyard.
Oh, yeah, really? That's nice. I think they
Yeah,
have.
I think I should be the first year that we celebrate this year. But I think somewhere in Delray they're doing a picnic where you can bring and it's free, and you can bring your own blankets and card games and like just have a good time. But COVID is still out there. And I
Hmm.
don't feel safe. So in my backyard, we're gonna have some red Kool-Aid and just chill out and play card games. I think we just bought Uno today. So my brother will celebrate.
Yeah, I might get. I know they have a lot of things going on in the city. I live in Georgia, so in the Metro Atlanta area. So there's a lot of things going on every year. There's parks, like they have festivals out here for it. Like they do it like MLK. So
That's what's up.
um yeah, so there are things out here. I'm not sure if we're gonna go, but I may call my sister and my mom and ask them to come over and let's cook or something. I may not either because I don't want to clean up.
And you were so honest, like, yeah, I don't want to clean up. But let's talk about our hot topic.
Oh
Our
yeah.
I feel like our hot topic is like has it's kind of in the same Juneteenth thing, or it's like I
It's
feel like
important for Juneteenth. Like it's a part of the history.
it's part of the history.
Hmm.
So the hot topic today is racial theory. Racial theory is basically a lot of the southern states are wanting to remove um history and the teaching, like the teaching of history, meaning like about like slavery and the Indians. They want to remove all that.
No, they don't want to remove it. They want it taught in a way that it's nice.
How do you teach something
Yeah, so they don't. It's
Nice.
like they don't want America to be the villains because what
That's what
racial?
I'm from it. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I
so
got they want they didn't want the white people to feel like villains.
I don't want to say the white people, but the white people.
Oh, okay. You
The
trying to be
white people. So basically, so what racial theory is basically saying that um, the United States as a whole is inherently racist. The bones of the country is racist, and depending on your complexion, you may have your race, you may have privileges, right? And if you are different race, you may not have the same privileges that other races have, and they just want to. It's about not only black people and white people. It's really about the United States' true history with all of its people, the native people to the United States, the Africans to the United States, the Hispanics, the Mexicans who are really native to Mexico and Arizona. They're native. The Japanese people, the Haitian American people. Like it's the true, unfiltered, unnice truth about the
Mhm.
history. And some people, some parents, majority have a problem with the truth being told, and they want this whitewashed
Version of
pretty
the truth.
version of the history where America is the heroes and they saved all those Africans from their barbaric lives and brought them to America. Like they want that version instead of the true, like you raped us and you slaughtered us and you beat us and you made us work for free and you imprisoned us and you chased us down. Like they don't want that real
Version
version
for their
with
kids.
exactly. So
They
they
don't want
pick
their
some.
kids to feel like they're like villains in school. This lady put it as, oh, we're making them hit list. Like they're putting on a hit list. But what is a hit list? Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Listen, these Karens are out of control. Somebody
Oh
get
my God. I just be like,
yes.
I always think of Karens and I'd be like, what would happen if we run into one of those people who are just crying? Like, why is it the first thing they do is cry?
That's how they get away with things. It's
The
by crying.
sympathy. I mean, God, you're making me feel like a villain because my ancestor treated their ancestors badly. And it's not like they're white people. We're not
I
blaming
feel
you.
like we just want the truth to be told the way it actually happened, not like hushing it or making it look pretty or saying that, America is like the hero all the time. Like,
Mhm.
come on. Let's like say the truth. Come on now. And a lot of people just don't want to hear it.
Let me
They
ask you this. Do
go
you
ahead.
think it's age appropriate? Like, do you think that they should be teaching? Well, first of all, let's clear this up. They don't teach race theory in any public schools right now.
Very cool.
This is a college level thinking, and mostly like law schools and things like that have race theory. It's like they're pandering for a problem that doesn't exist right now. So they're all on news and writing superintendents and all this kind of stuff. And it's like they're not teaching
Take
that.
their
What are you
kids out of
talking about?
school.
But do you think if they were to apply the real of what the history was, what age do you think they should implement that? Like, do you think that should something that should
I
be
think high school.
okay?
I think high school, at that point, you're becoming an adult and you're learning. Like when I was going to teach it to middle school kids where they're, coming out of elementary school, they're still young. I believe it should be taught in high school. And I feel like I learned a lot about that in high school. Maybe I read it on my own because I like to read, but
Hmm.
like I feel like high school is the age appropriate for you to start teaching the kids this. And I feel like we have to teach the kids this. Like without knowing, we're just gonna repeat history. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I don't understand why it's such a big issue. This is what really happened. Why do we want to make it look pretty? Why would we want to, pretty it up,
Yeah,
basically,
why we need a vote for
make
this?
you feel better?
Right.
That's still entitlement.
Why do we want to make the white people feel better? It ain't making the black people feel better. It's already
And I
there.
feel like the black people cannot, like, we can't always, like, I feel like they feel like they're the villain and we feel like we're the victim. I don't think we're the victim. It's just part of history. It's what happened. We don't feel like we're the victim. It's just, it is what it is, at this point.
Let me ask you this too. When was the first time that you?
Oh, this African, for Juneteenth, I put this necklace on. It's itching me.
Yeah, please acknowledge Debbie African necklace.
No, it's really itching me. Like, I just gotta take this thing off in the middle of the video. Go ahead.
But this is what I was gonna say. When was the first time you learned about slavery? How old were you?
I want to say middle school.
Really?
Yeah, I think in history, we talked about slavery.
Mm.
And I feel like in elementary school, we learned about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, because the month and everything. So it's like they kind of introduce it to you in elementary school, and they start to really tell you about the slaves in middle school. And Juneteenth, I feel like we probably like one sentence in
Yes,
history.
it is. You
Like,
only get like
English.
maybe a half a chapter of it anyway, of Black history anyways.
And then when
Imagine,
they don't
and they
take
gonna
that out of school, so you get like one chapter.
and now they trying to whitewash it.
Yeah, just kind of take it just right off, just like rip the page out. Page 12 to 6. I mean 6 to 12, take those out. Just rip them out.
Yeah,
So we can feel better. It's crazy.
it really is. I think the first time I learned about, I went to mostly white schools, and I've always been like, until Meluka, I was always the only Black person in the room.
Mhm.
So I felt like I learned about it in elementary school early, like first grade. And that was like the first time I've ever heard of a slave. Yeah.
I don't think I heard about slaves in
Oh
elementary.
my God. And then I just remember they teaching us that Black people were slaves, and all of the class looking at me like, you were a slave. And I didn't have any friends then, so I just remember looking at me like, "What you looking at me for? I can't tell you about that. I'd never heard that before." My mom never taught. They always taught me the difference between Black and white people.
Mhm.
That we had to behave a certain way and carry ourselves a certain way, and we had to perform like 10 times better just to be acknowledged as average to a white person. But I don't think, or if we showed our behinds, I remember I used to be like, they expect you to be an N-word, so
Mhm.
don't be.
I was never taught that. Like, I don't think my family has ever spoken like or gave us like a lecture about race and having to like do our best or be better. I feel like my family just didn't really see color, if that makes sense.
Mm.
It was like we're all one human race. It was just like, oh, okay. It wasn't like I didn't get taught that. I just experienced it,
Hmm.
but I didn't get taught.
Yeah, I think it becomes my family, like they came from like big lady. My mom would be like, she was almost an adult before she seen her first white person. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I think that upbringing,
Hmm.
and then the way my grandma grew up too. She was from the like,
The South.
yeah, my grandma was born in 1933. So imagine what
She
life
saw
was.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hmm. And then also I wanted to ask you, so what about like your Haitian heritage? Did you ever learn about where you come from in school?
Uh Haitian heritage? No. I don't think they even I felt like they only thing I heard about Haiti in school in the Bible was that we were Espanol,
Hmm.
and that we became free. Well, the first black slaves to be free, and we became Haiti. But after that, there was nothing about Haitian culture in the American Bible. I mean, American Bible in the history book. We never heard about it. I mean, I never read anything about it. Like I
Mhm.
remember seeing them like, oh look, it's Haiti. My family's from there, and that was the only thing that I remember learning. But my parents, I don't think they taught me about the history of Haiti. I think I've learned on my own doing a research for I think it was middle school. I want to say middle school. I did a
Mhm.
research about Haiti. And that's how I learned, like reading books and stuff like that, where I came from or something like that. But nobody ever taught me, about the history of like Haiti, or we never talked about it in school.
That's crazy. I think I think schools should do a better job of teaching other people's history because we do world history. Why don't we learn about the Black countries,
Hmm.
especially when we've America's had such a like effect on Haiti and in Africa and all of the little islands in between.
Hmm.
So I feel like we should do in our school board instead of like fighting about taking away the history. How about we teach more history and
Teach more.
we teach before slavery. Like that's like something like learn before slavery. Like what it Black people didn't start off as slaves. Teach us what we were before then.
Yeah, teaches our culture.
Hmm.
So I feel like if they maybe they I feel there's no way to make it better, like, or to like I don't want to say whitewash, but like race theory is not only black people. Like even they say like Asian people are smart, black people are athletic, Mexican people, like they just racial profiling in general. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's not only us black folks. Um we just got to do better. Do better, acknowledge what your wrongs, and move on. But we have to learn from history. History is one of my favorite subjects. Learning, like I like going to museums and stuff like that to learn about different places and stuff like that. It's just a history. But if we don't know, we're gonna keep repeating it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
It's
believe it should be taken out of schools. And I'm gonna make sure
right.
I teach my kids or my child. I don't know where
Mhm.
it came from.
Talking.
Take it back, take it back.
You talking? What you do?
Listen, I'm trying to have a hot girl summer, not a pregnant girl fall. Okay. So um I feel like I should like really teach my kids about it, because if they're gonna take it out of schools, they need to know where they came from. They need to know what happened. Like how do you take out history? I used to love history. Really did love history class.
Yeah, I loved it as in college. I loved it. I had a professor who was like challenging, and I always like wanted to know what he believed because I felt like he was a little racist, but didn't really. But I felt like he had a problem with the country at the same time. Like he ain't like nobody. But he challenged our thoughts and I learned a lot in his class about history, um, about Black people, about the things that happened to Black people, and it's important to know. It's important for I think especially for Black Americans to know so that you know how
Where
to
you
maneuver. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like you know how to maneuver in this world, what this world is capable of, and you can do better as a people for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're resilient people.
I always say what is gonna be in our history books.
Okay, 'cause, you know, we writing history
Because
right now.
we're going through history right now, and it's like so much craziness are still going on, years later.
Hmm.
Are they gonna talk about
Could
our
you
black
imagine?
president,
We got our first Black
California?
president. We got our first celebrity president.
Child.
We had COVID. an epidemic, like a pandemic, like
And we're still going through it.
we still going through it. These shots, who knows what these shots are gonna do? These people who get vaccinated, like
Turning into monkeys, having third eyes, and
right. What is that? It's a show on Netflix where the babies are born. They go through a pandemic and they're doing like some kind of experiments, and the babies are born half human and half animal. That's gonna be these people on these
this
vaccines.
is why I don't want it. No more. Listen, I had COVID. I'm just gonna really protect myself and stay away.
Yeah, enough people have the shot now that it should go away.
And have it'll go away, and then they have third eyes, and their kids will have like 6 toes, and let's be throwing shade. Are you gonna get the vaccine, Chrys?
Hell no. I don't even get the flu shot. I don't do the vaccine. I only do what is necessary to not get arrested.
Did Chrys get the flu shot? I mean, did the vaccine?
No, nobody in this household is getting a vaccine.
Listen, I'm not to bashing the vaccine. If you feel like you need it, you're comfortable, you need to get it, go ahead and get it. I'm just not doing
Listen,
not for
I do
me.
not fool with these vaccines. I try to get out. Like I go to my doctor because she understands. I have all black like doctors. Everybody's black, so they understand our natural fears to be weary of the CDC, the Tuskegee experiment. Like it's when they did the
When they give the black people syphilis,
syphilis and told them they was.
that was in my history. I read that in history.
You read that in school?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I actually came across that when I was learning about vaccines or to give my child a vaccine. But when I became a parent to see if actually I lied. I learned about that before I got pregnant when I was going through Alabama, and you see the Tuskegee. You had to drive through there, but yeah, I'm not playing with the CDC, and that's the only people you can sue. I would feel comfortable if I could sue the CDC, but you can't. And those vaccines, if they drop one on the floor, they have to close the whole damn building. Poison control has to come in to clean the shit up. Now, if it's that powerful outside of a vial, why the hell do I want to put it in my body?
I didn't know that.
I'm like a little sort of kind of conspiracy theories. Sort of kinds of some of it I'd be like, I mean, I get the shot. I remember I had this one friend that was a nurse, and we would go into it like about the vaccines because she see people die because they don't get their vaccines. And I'm like, hey, if everybody's vaccinated and I'm not vaccinated, then there should be no diseases. Why are the diseases still around then?
Like, I just don't feel comfortable. And in my building, I've heard that they're vaccinating the kids with a plant-based vaccine and getting paid $6,000 for experimenting on their kids. I said them people should go to jail for experimenting on their kids. Okay.
And they doing ignorant shit like
give my child no damn vaccine.
You hear these some
Base experiment? No.
I ain't got time for this. They doing
Go ahead.
Get a smoke a joint and get a shot. Like y'all doing too much. It's everywhere. Like y'all trying to push it down people's throat. It's too much. Like y'all overkill with
the
it.
fact that they're pushing down people's throat is what makes me scared.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that they're passing a new law that your job can fire you if you don't get it. Like,
oh yeah, I heard that too.
That's crazy. Well, I know.
Yeah, but then it should be HIPAA. It should be HIPAA laws that
What happened?
We have like security cameras. He used to on the security camera. So annoying.
Just ignore him. He would come and mess up our video. I cannot stand him.
So annoying. I am going to unplug it next time, so he won't be able to do it. That's funny.
What'd he say?
F that SHIT. That's good.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm not experimenting on my child with no damn vaccine. I'm not getting no vaccine. But yeah, my cousin job gave her the day off and $200 for getting it done.
Would she have to bring back something? Isn't that violating HIPAA law?
I don't
Like,
know.
how can you ask me? I don't have to tell you if I got a vaccine or not.
Listen, I would just take them 2 days off and not get it done. How about that?
Girl, who you telling? You know they was selling it. You don't sort of some more scheme
Everything
language.
happens in Florida, but if you know a hookup, let me
Maybe they got some
what is
people with
that?
some records for you if you need proof.
Always in Florida. Everything crazy happens in Florida. It just
Right?
fails. It never fails. But y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us. Please us know how you're gonna be celebrating your Juneteenth. And if
Hey,
you
Father's Day. Let us know how you celebrate Father's Day. And give your daddies a shout out too
and
below.
your mothers,
Celebrate your mama on Mother's Day and celebrate your daddy. Or even if you don't have a daddy or you don't have a kids don't have a good daddy and all that, your uncles, your cousin, whatever male figure that was.
brothers. Oh my God, I have amazing brothers. They are
Okay.
amazing fathers. Shout out to my brothers. They are
Yeah.
like the best fathers. They're like hands on with their kids. I love it. I love seeing them. I pray God that He send me somebody like that, hands
Yeah.
on with their kids.
I was
Okay.
about to say
And I
something.
celebrate him. How about that? But
Well,
until then, I'll be celebrating me on Father's Day and my daddy's.
and I'll be celebrating my daddy and my baby daddy that y'all just
Yeah, that
yes.
part.
Okay, bye.
Bye.